Hey y'all, Treasury here with Picture Me Living, and I have a well-awaited guest. I would like for you to introduce yourself.
Man, I'm Trill AC, the Crew Season podcast and tonight's conversation podcast, man. Some say I'm a expert relationship, which I hate. I don't think I'm a relationship expert. I feel like I'm just somebody that's in a relationship that can kind of speak to it a little bit from a real up close personal standpoint. So that's what it is. But that's probably how people know me generally.
I'm gonna circle back to that, but I want to get some icebreakers out the way since this is our first time actually having a conversation. I have two icebreakers prepared for you. The first one is just a personal topic of mine that I revisit on social media every now and then. Do you prefer people that flake or people that are late?
Uh, Damn, both of them disrespectful. But I mean, if I had to pick, I'd say late. Like, but just flaking, like no showing, no call, no text, and just don't pull up or don't do it. Yeah, that's gonna make me not ever invite you again or not ever rock with you again.
Right. That's kind of where I'm leaning. And every time I ask that, it's 50-50, and I'm shocked. Like, how we 50-50 with this?
Yeah, we done agreed to something, bro. Like you gotta follow through, or just give legitimate heads up notice, because you just never know what somebody done sacrificed or like had to move around to make room for you. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
just like to respect people's time, and if I say I'm gonna do something, I try to do it.
All right. The second icebreaker, I see you're from Southeast Texas.
Hmm.
I need to know your favorite rappers and or favorite artists from that region.
Man, that is a good question. I mean, well, I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, which is like an hour east of Houston. So Pimp C is from there. UGK Bun B is from there. But we got a lot of legends in our region. Scarface, Slim Thug, Kiki. But as far as my favorite, um, probably probably Pimp C.
Okay.
Hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's interesting. I got people ask me like, "What's your favorite rapper? What's your favorite artist?" But never like regionally. So that made me have to think about it.
I mean, that's a popping region, but it does get overlooked. And so whenever someone's from Miami or Houston, I really like to like just what are your favorites from where you are from?
Right, right.
I was hoping you would say Beyonce, but cause that's my favorite from your city.
I mean, which I get. Like Beyonce is. I mean, that's like Michael Jackson territory type of thing. You know what I mean? But I listen to rap more than I listen to like R&B and stuff. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big R&B head, but I
Yeah.
definitely listen to rap and hip hop more than I listen to R&B. But salute to B, like she, of course, like it don't it,
Yeah.
it goes without saying.
And she always shows a lot of respect and homage to UGK and Slim Thug and all of those artists. So I love that about her.
Nah, for sure. She's super humble, man. That's what a lot of people don't really realize. Like she could be in a space where she could be a complete asshole if she wanted to,
Yeah,
but she
absolutely.
ain't she ain't like that.
Yeah. All right, so we broke the ice a little bit. I appreciate that. Um, I would like to circle back to you don't like the title that you've been given, right? But everyone comes to you and asks you for advice. You're very well spoken, extremely well spoken. A lot of things that you say actually hit the nail on the head. Like everyone shares it, like, oh, this is great advice. This is great advice. So I wasn't expecting you to say that. I thought you was gonna be like, I love talking about relationships. So
Yeah,
what?
I don't mind it, I mean, because again, like it's something that I'm living. Like I'm a real like authentic type of person, you know what I mean? So it's like whatever I'm doing at the time, like yeah, I'll speak on it. But when I started podcasting, I definitely didn't expect to be a relationship guy. Like we was doing content on a lot of different things with Crew Season, music, relationships, current events, sports, but it was always the relationship stuff that just kind of resonated and did more numbers. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
rule one, page one when it come to content creation is follow your demo. So your demo want to hear about relationships, so it will behoove you to go in that lane.
Right. Do you ever not have the answer when someone comes to you with a question? How do you handle that?
I say if it's more tied to like religion, because that right there happens a lot.
Okay.
To where it's like, hey, I'm looking for somebody that's, Christian, and what are some of the traits that can showcase to let me know that they see, I mean, I can't really speak to that. Don't get me wrong. Like I believe in God. I'm spiritual, but I'm not a
Right.
super religious guy. I'm not going to be quoting scriptures and things of that nature. So sometimes when the question revolves around that, then I'm like, I'm probably not the right person to ask that. But in
Yeah.
terms of like, functional behavior and, how a relationship goes, some of the things that lead up to it, some of the stuff you go through. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, it's rarely a question that's asked to where I'm just stumped.
I want to know your best travel story, your best travel experience.
Hmm. Interesting. I just came from Greece last summer. I went to Santorini and Mykonos, and I'd probably say the Santorini trip was probably the best trip I'd have ever been on. Um, and I travel a lot, man. I too
I think.
much,
Yeah. Yeah.
too much. But as far as just like the peacefulness, the scenery, like it literally looks like a postcard. We had like a private villa on the mountain, and you're looking over the Aegean Sea and all of that stuff. And it's just like, yeah, this is crazy. Like, 'cause you because you had like heard about it. Ross got a song called Santorini, and
Right.
a lot of people been traveling there recently or whatever, but it's like once you get there, it's like, yeah, this is something totally different. Like it's very quiet. It's very like it's not a lot of people. Like Mykonos is more like going to like Mexico, like a popping city in Mexico, to where it's like a lot of
Right.
partying. It's a lot of, you know what I mean? But
Okay.
Santorini is like an older couple, people that got real money.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That traveled, and they
Yeah.
looking for the peace angle. They looking for the, I'm out here to relax. I'm out here to, eat good food and chop it up with, dope people. So yeah, Santorini is at the top of that list by far.
Really? And that's one place I haven't been. How was the food?
So surprisingly pretty good because, we from Southeast Texas, so that's seafood country. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's kind of the same thing on that end. You're gonna get the fish, you're gonna get the crabs, you're gonna get a lot of the seafood and different things like that. So yeah, it's which was one of the things that I was worried about traveling. Just like the food,
Right.
in my opinion, I feel like, the South in general got the best food, period. That's just my opinion.
It's a different palate and you feel lighter when you eat over there. So our food is a little bit heavier. You're tired, sluggish. Over there, you can eat pasta every single day and be good.
Right. Right.
The
Because
food is
it's
more
like
fresh.
it's more fresh because it's like you literally right on the water
Right.
where they get it from. You understand? So I think that right there factored in. But yeah, no, the food was surprisingly very good.
And Greece is a summertime vacation spot also. That's their season, so you went in the perfect time.
July. It was, yeah.
Wow. So I think this season is maybe June through the end of August. Yeah, you went at a perfect time. So
So
what's
what's
your
your
worst
worst
travel
travel
experience?
experience?
uh
It's gonna be good.
Damn. What's the worst? I went to a resort in Cancun one time, and you know what, I don't even want to name it because I like love one of their sister properties. Or like their property in Cabo is way more incredible than the one in Cancun.
Okay.
But I went to the one in Cabo first, and it was amazing. It was five
Okay.
stars all the way around, like beautiful there, catered to you left and right. So when I found out they had another one in Cancun, I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely got to go check that out. You know what I mean? And then we got to the one in Cancun, and it just was not the same at all. The quality of everything kind of took it down. Got
Really?
knocked down a bit. From the food to the alcohol to the I'm just like, yeah, this is it's
Was it all inclusive?
yes, yes.
And that's why I'm not a fan of all inclusive because you pay that price and they can give you bottom shelf tequila. You're going there for the liquor, for the food, and the food is not even Olive Garden. You know, you're getting a lower grade Italian dish in Mexico, you know? It is like, well, I paid for this all inclusive. I thought I was gonna have, you know, a cater to you experience. Not having it. I still have to leave the resort to enjoy my food and my drinks.
Yeah, and again, like it kind of depends on the resort. Cause then you got some that's all inclusive. You'll go there and they take great care of you. It's good food. Also, what I learned is like if you tip a decent amount, they'll go to that back room and like pull out the real stuff for you to
Oh,
drink and different things like that. So for
okay.
example, like, we was at the pool or whatever, and like they had like a bar by the pool and stuff. And he asked me like, what did I drink? So, quit me, I'm a Don Julio guy, repo, straight, neat, just straight off the cuff. So I could tell when it's Don Repo for real or when
Yeah.
this
Or something else. Yeah.
goddamn Jose Cuervo y'all done poured
Yeah.
in this bottle. You know what I mean? But so when he had brought it out to me, I was like, yeah, bro, this not Don Repo. And he's like, nah, it is. Da, da, da. I say, nah, this ain't it. So he was like, oh, 1 second. So he went back and he made it again, and it tasted more like I was like, okay, yeah, this
This
more
is
like it. I
good.
appreciate you. I gave
Yeah.
him a 10 ball, and ever since then, like I just came straight to him. He used to go to the back to fix my drink. He fixed everybody
Right.
else drink
He
with the
brought.
bottle.
He brought a different bottle out. And that's a good travel tip for my listeners. So they might have a bottle of Don Julio. That don't mean it's Don Julio.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something else or it's watered down.
Yeah, because it's like if you drink mixed drinks normally, like it'll be a little harder to tell. You understand? Because
Right.
for one, if you drinking a mixed drink, they already gonna step on it
Right.
3, 4 times. You know what I mean? You
Right.
you you,
Right.
you drank 9 mixed drinks, you still sober as hell. Like, hold on.
Right.
And you had a lot of sugar and you wonder why your head hurt.
Yeah, exactly. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, I'm a repo neat guy. But yeah, when you tip, man, so I tell people all the time, especially you going to like a resort or something, man, just take out $100 and break it down in fives and just tip
Okay.
everybody. Like the chauffeur, the
Oh,
doorman, the bartender, the waiter,
wow.
like,
That's something I don't even do. So
man, I'm telling you, it's gonna enhance your experience
Wow. All
because
right.
people gonna come to know you. Like they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, know her. Okay, I gotta get the best
Yeah.
stuff out.
Yeah.
I gotta get the best. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
all right, so you travel a lot for your career. We're social media friends, and I'm like, okay, he's on the go. He's on the go. Can you give the listeners some on the go tips for, just Houston to Atlanta, Houston to Miami? What makes it easier for you to travel like that?
Um, and this is a fairly recent development of mine. Carry on, man. Pack that carry on down. Don't check no bags. That right there just makes the trip 10 times easier. And I'm like a Platinum United member, so like they give me 3 free bags, all type of stuff to check. But it's like you move faster, you more agile. You can show up to the airport a little later. You know what I mean? Like when you're moving through, get off that plane, just get right in your whip and go, rather than having to waste 30 minutes at that damn belt waiting on your bag to come out. Sometimes it's longer than that. Sometimes they lose your bag. It's all kind of stuff. So I would tell people like prepare your outfits prior to the detail, because that's a problem I had. Like I'm the type of person, like I want to bring 5 different tees, 5 different pants, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out when I get there.
Right.
It's like, nah, pack, like plan that
Because
outfit out right so you can pack efficient.
That's why I don't agree with you because I'm gonna figure it out when I get there type of person. Delta give me these 3 bags. They finna get these 3 bags and my carry on. So I'm gonna be mad waiting on my bags, and I'm gonna be even more mad that now they gotta bring a bag that they lost to my hotel room. So that is great advice.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what changed my perspective on that is like, cause one day I flew out same day for a show that I had that night.
Yeah.
And I got there and I checked my bag and I got there and they lost the bag and they said the bag ain't gonna be here until like 7 o'clock. The show started at 8. So
Oh,
I had to come back to the airport, grab my bag last minute, go back over there, throw my clothes. I ain't really have time to iron or nothing, but it's like they lost the bag and they said, yeah, it's not on this flight, it's on a flight that's coming four
right.
hours later. And it's
Yeah.
just like, bruh. So it's like I say never again, like never gonna be a close call. Unless it's something like to where you gonna be there a while, like 5 days, 4 days. Okay, then carry on. It's not gonna do it in that case. But if you got like a quick little 2 day situation, man, pack that carry on down, man.
I always pack my carry-on with essentials just in case. Um, so I work in aviation, I work in air traffic control, and so I know all about weather and deviations and all of that. I'm gonna put all my essentials, toothbrush, toothpaste, underwear, anything that I may need for 2 days in an emergency. That's gonna go in my carry-on. In addition to my laptop, anything that is expensive to you, whatever's expensive to you, jewelry, whatever, do not put that in your check bag. Put that in your carry-on. I get better if I start getting flued out for business. I'm gonna have to do the whole your advice, Trill advice.
Promise you, promise you. Makes life 10 times easier, man. I ain't looked back since.
Really?
Oh God.
One of my trainers told me though that and this was an older guy, grumpy. He was like, I don't go anywhere for 2 days. So that changed my perspective too, because I was going everywhere for 2 days. Mind you, it was never for business though. So, this is life changing advice for my future. But at the time, I'm like, younger and I'm going to Miami just overnight. So, I'm overpacking. Like I want to be cute. I want to have my 5 outfits for this one night. Now I'm mad that my bag is lost. Now we at the mall, so that's girl drama because we at the mall now. So
That right there, a whole 7 hour experience right there at the
Yeah.
mall, trying to piece it together. Oh Lord have
Yeah.
mercy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thing too, when you booking your flight, man, book the flight early. Book a 7, book a 6 a.m. and then you can move it around and same day and save you some money. That's a lot of people don't be understanding. They'll book that 12 and that ticket may be 800. But if you book the
Yeah.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you can book that same flight for 4. And then same day you could shift it around and say, you know what, I'm gonna take the 11, but you might can get the 11 for
Yeah.
extra $120, or like a first class upgrade for an extra 200 or something, and you still come out cheaper than the 800 you would have paid for that 12 noon flight. So that's how I be telling people like the initial flight, book it early, like super early, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then move it around later, and you're gonna save way more money like that. So.
That is good advice. And there's less weather in the morning. So you're more than likely going to make your flights in the morning. In the evening, not so much. You can get delayed, deviated. Now you're landing somewhere else you wasn't planning on going, and it's a mess. So morning, I don't like it. So you got a 6 o'clock flight. What time you get into the airport?
Now again, this is if I stand on that 6 o'clock flight, because sometimes like I said, I'll just book the 6, and then let's say midnight the night before, I change my flight time and pay
Oh,
an extra $100, so it'll come out really, because the 6 o'clock, let's say it was 400, and then 12 noon was an $800 ticket, but I booked the 6 o'clock for the 400, and then at 12 midnight, which count that same day, then I'll just move my flight time to 11 and they only charge me an extra 100 or extra 150. So you still come out cheaper that way. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You
So you can
saving
save three,
250,
four hundred
$300.
dollars. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Also, like don't buy no first class ticket outright. Never. Never do
Ever.
that. Never.
Ever.
You buy economy and
Yes.
then you upgrade for the little 150,
Yes.
250. But shit, you might have a first class situation. You buy it outright, it's 1,500 or 1,200. But when you could have bought that economy ticket for 600, paid an extra two, now you flying first class for 800 instead of that 15 you was gonna pay.
And that's probably the best travel advice that I have. Do not book those first class. When you get a free upgrade, it changes your life. Or when you get a cheap upgrade.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Same day. Same day upgrades. That's what I be telling people. Like same days, a lot of times you can get that first class upgrade for 150. You just gotta check it, see what's available. But same day
Right.
because they trying to pack that flight out, and they're gonna take the like money people trying to pay before they gonna upgrade somebody for free. So that's why I
Right.
say about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, like go on there and see what's up. Like if they got some free, I mean if they got some open first class seats, tap it, see what it'll be to upgrade it. A lot of times, same day, it's like 150 or like 200 at the most. So you can come out $600-700 cheaper than if you would have just bought the first class outright. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
So, moral of the story is you're watching and you're putting in the work behind the scenes and it's paying off.
amen.
Yeah.
Got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I actually like all of that advice.
For sure.
All right, so we're going to circle back to some relationship if you don't mind. Well, actually, I want to know what's your dream career? Because it seems like you live in it, but I want to ask you.
That is a very interesting question. I don't think I ever been asked that. Um, my dream career is not really like tied to a field per se.
Okay.
Like I just want to help people and I want to do it on my own time. So
Okay.
like my dream career is not working for somebody. It's like being able to help people at my own leisure and get paid handsomely and have a lot of passive income and things of that nature because I done, invested in the right mutual funds and stuff like that. They're gonna pay me every quarter, they're gonna do this, do that. So now I got the freedom to just wake up and build my own schedule or make content or whatever I want to do. So I think that's more so what the dream is. But in terms of the dream job, yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I just that's the whole reason I even got into this anyway, was just to help people. You know what I mean? Like my intentions when it came to making content, I just thought about like when we was growing up, a lot of us we didn't see a lot of healthy relationship examples. We didn't get a lot of healthy relationship advice. It's like, motherfucker teach you how to like find somebody or pull somebody, get a number or whatever, but they don't give you that nuance to
Yeah.
maintain a long-term relationship. And, since I'm in one, I try to just drop off the game like as I'm going through it. That's the interesting part about the clips people see of me is that like a lot like it's super authentic. Like it's not a man, let me think of what's gonna do the most numbers. Like a lot of that stuff, man, I be done just had the argument with my old lady. Or I be done just
Wow.
went through this, you know what I mean? And I turn the
You just
camera on, it's
learned to
kind of like a
listen
therapy, you know what I
and
mean? But it's like, yeah,
regurgitate.
this is how I navigated it, you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
This how you take this, how you talk to her, this how you da 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 da, and just giving them that like step by step game that like we never got, you know what I mean? So it just kind of spiraled into what it is. But my intention, again, going back to your question, is just to help people.
I like
That. Like I said, it seems like you're living in it. My dream career is owning my own bar, talking to people. Yeah, talking to people, but owning a bar like a tiki hut type shit. Like not just a bar, not an Atlanta bar, Houston bar, but like on the beach. But I really enjoy talking to people in my introvert type way. So it kind of aligned to podcasting in a sense.
Which is interesting because introverts, which I am too, um, find talking to people very uncomfortable at first. You know what I mean? So the fact that you want your dream job to be kind of like conquering what your quote unquote fear is, I think is
right.
dope. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna make you a more well-rounded person. I think that's the dope part about what I do is it made me a well-rounded person. Like I talk to all type of different ethnicities and ages and different things like that, and it kind of forces you out of that comfort zone, and you become way more of a dope person on the back end. So for sure, man, I think that's dope, man.
So you said something interesting. You said no one had relationship advice growing up. I never thought about that. I I have it at my fingertips now. Anytime I open up my app, relationship advice. This is a narcissist. This man is gaslighting you. This girl is financially abusing you. Like it's something at your fingertip every time we didn't have that. Do you think that's a part of what's wrong with dating right now?
100%. You know, especially from a woman's perspective, because it's like, you know, you got people, I don't want you dating until you're 45. And so it's like, so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, where am I going to get the experience, or where am I going to get the, like, you know, nuance recognition from if I'm not actually in the field doing it, you know what I mean? And a lot of us got to grow up and meet somebody and find out the hard way, find out on our own what we, you know, do and don't like, or what this, just like you said, this is a narcissist, this is somebody gaslighting, all of these things. We got to find out the hard way. And you mess around, be 2 kids in, or three, four, five failed relationships in before it really hit. Like, okay, boom, this is what would be most compatible for me. Now I'm gonna start pursuing that in a specific way. But you know, a lot of times we done built up a lot of baggage, a lot of trauma, a lot of just like bumping our head up against that brick wall, just trying to get it right. So I mean, I definitely feel like that played a role. You know, even and then on the men aspect, you know, we not really wired or programmed or encouraged to be in relationships starting
Oh,
from a very young age. You know, if you think about like when a son is born, like, and let's say he's a cute baby, like what's the first thing people say? Oh my God, he's gonna be a heartbreaker when he get older. He gonna have all the women running after him. You know what I mean? So then he get
yes.
up, grow up a little more, and you know, you get to talking to his dad, and yeah, boy, back in my day, I used to get numbers. I used to do this, used to do that. He talking to his daddy and his uncles. You know what I mean, about pulling women, and then he get up and, you know, teenage years, you out there with your peers and y'all competing over who can have sex first and who can get the most numbers first and all of these things, but none of that's
Right.
conducive to a long-term relationship.
Not
And like even women plan it from that perspective kind of aid in that, because a lot of women gravitate to the man who has the most women or has the most women interested in him. You know what I mean? Like women want a highly desirable man generally. You know what I mean? So none of these things that we done been programmed through all our life says or encourages long-term relationship. And then we meet somebody and we've been kind of programmed to be snipers all our life. And
right.
we meet somebody and we just expected to flip the switch and be a domesticated husband. And no, it don't work. It's gonna be a transition. You know what I mean?
And now that's heavy. So who I don't want to say who do you think? Who invented monogamy? I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think men, now mind you, I'm in my bitter era. So I just dealt with a gaslight narcissist for a whole year that altered my reality, and you know, it is what it is. But who invented monogamy? I think men did, to manipulate women.
Mm, yeah, I don't think so. I think because monogamy doesn't work to our best interests. I think men from a biological standpoint are kind of wired to go out there and attract as many women as possible. So for a man to say, you know what, I'm gonna pass on having these 20 women that'll do anything I want for just one who's gonna do what I want sometimes, and other days she gonna have off days or be emotional or be going through postpartum or get pregnant or whatever, and now she's out of commission. I'm gonna choose that over having these 20 women who I could just call and deal with whenever I feel like it. It doesn't make sense because the woman doesn't necessarily dictate um dictate a man's success in life. And what I mean by that is like, as a man you can go out there and accumulate a whole lot of money and be single. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? And not ever think about being in a serious relationship, and you know you'll still be accepted or respected in the community. But a woman on the other end, let's say that she's 50 years old and a millionaire, but she's never been married, people are going to ask like, what's wrong with her? You understand? Like women's validation is more tied to whether or not they can sustain a marriage or whether or not they're married. Like even women arguing with each other. I be seeing like you got married women arguing with single women. The first insult, you can't keep a man. Da, 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 da. Like
Right.
it's a
Right.
it's a whole. It's like
Right.
damn, like that. Damn the fact that she's an intelligent woman and well traveled and you know well accomplished and multiple degrees. Damn all of that.
Yeah,
We're
they
gonna whittle
overlook
it
all
all
that.
down to you can't keep a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait a minute, a man can't keep me. Let's make that very clear.
So, so like to answer your question, I think women stand to benefit more from monogamy because they're kind of measured by it. They're kind of validated by it To where as a man, most men, let's just be honest, like if that man is desirable or that man is handsome or has money or has status, he gonna get 99% of what he would get in a monogamous relationship anyway from her without even having commitment. That's
Okay.
the unfortunate reality about this shit because like a lot of women are so eager to be in relationships that I want to prove myself to them. So
Right.
we having sex the first week we meet. I'm cooking for him the first time I go to his crib. I'm cleaning up his house. I'm washing his clothes. We ain't even in a relationship, but you just trying to prove yourself. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if that man highly desirable and got money, he got multiple women willing to do that. So it's like, why would I choose? Why would I shelve that and go be with one woman who may not feel like cooking today, and now I got to go without eating? You know what I mean? In
Okay.
that perspective.
So
You're saying women invented it, which I could see that too. But if that's the case, if it's so much better with the 20 women, why doesn't the man just go be with the 20 women and be honest with the 20 women? Because there are 20 women that will share. So why don't men just ignore monogamy as a whole and just go do that and leave the women that prefer the monogamy over there to fend for whatever's left?
I think that men won't do that because it's more like beneficial for us to be able to deal with like first off dealing with all of those women is a headache.
Like a headache, right?
It's a one woman is a headache. I could imagine 20 on a
exactly.
consistent basis, right?
Exactly.
So again, it's like men want something that's somewhere in the middle. We don't want to deal with the 20. We want to
Right.
have one and then be able to supplement certain things whenever we feel like it or whenever it's convenient for us to. So let's say we got this one woman and she ain't in a sexual mood today. On that day, we want to supplement the sex. She don't feel like cooking. Okay, boom, cool. I can supplement the cooking for this woman for this one day. But at the end of the day, like he doesn't want to juggle all of those women on a consistent basis because it's a headache. But also a lot of men feel like getting into a relationship kind of handcuffs you in regard to getting what you want consistently, getting that dopamine hit consistently. You know what I mean? So men want to fall somewhere in the middle, which is kind of selfish in my opinion. But I mean that's just
It
how
is.
a lot of men are like wired.
And that's where my question still is. It's like, because women, we settle, right? We settle hugely financially. So it's kind of like how you gave the example of sexually. One day I might want a Chanel bag. And I know a man in my DM that'll buy me a Chanel bag, but I'm faithful to my man. You know what I mean? And so women are better. Like I said, I think we're kind of manipulated into that monogamy because men would prefer us to be monogamous while they're not monogamous. Because we have those same struggles as a human.
I agree, but I would venture to ask, manipulated more by who? I would say manipulated more by other women, right? Because as a
Okay.
man, let's say that I'm a single man, like not even in a relationship, it would benefit me more to have more single women than it would be to have women in relationships. Because then I could just have my pick of the litter. But if I have a woman that's
Right.
tied off over here, then I lose access to her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like from that perspective, which is like which is why I cause I feel like sometimes like with the feminist movement and the sexual liberation movement and things of that nature, they say men don't want that, da da da. And I would say that's not true because men don't
Really?
mind you being sexually liberated. Please go. So men can get all of the sex that they want without no commitment or without no ring or without none of that. Like that's playing into what a man's raw interests are. You know what I'm saying? You not being monogamous or you being sexually liberated or you showing your
Yeah.
body or whatever the case. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Men stand to benefit from that more. So that's why I say
Right.
like pressured by who? Pressured by other women.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that actually.
Like think about it like when you go home for Thanksgiving and family gatherings.
Right.
Who asks you, girl, when you gonna get married? When you gonna bring somebody back?
Oh, the pressure is real on women. The pressure is real. I mean, I see it a lot.
Who's saying that to you though?
Yeah.
Older women.
Yeah.
I see it a lot. And not necessarily with me because I had a kid so young, but I do see my peers that are my age that are kidless and they are exhausted. Please stop asking me that question. Please, like, I have this career, I've done all of this stuff. Give me credit for the things that I've done. I still have some time. Like, give me a second. But no, women are really pressured. You are right about that. And it is other women. It is other women. Ooh,
That's the thing, because like
That's a
from
tough
a
one.
dad's perspective, let me just put myself in a dad's perspective. If my daughter comes home for Thanksgiving and she's just like you said, highly accomplished, business going well, she got a nice place to stay, got her own car, got all of this, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna press her to get in a relationship. I'm not gonna press her to, you know what I mean? Like if you need something, I'm daddy. I'm
Right.
here. Come to me if you need it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how men are thinking. But older women, like they on some like, when you gonna bring me this baby? When you gonna bring me
Older
this?
women, we're not going to be like that. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not going to be like that to the younger girls. Take your time, sis. Matter of fact, I want you to get started at 40. But women do have this mindset of, I want you to go through the same struggle that I went through. And I got with this man, I got cheated on, I started a family early. You're supposed to do the same thing. And we're choosing ourselves in this generation. It's like, I might have had the family, but I didn't want to get cheated on. So I did this. I got my career. I kind of want to pat on the back for that, actually. And we don't get that at this age. We just don't.
And that's because a lot of older women are competing with the younger women. That's something else that I see, because again, women are kind of unfairly judged by beauty standards, unfairly judged by, the ability to maintain a relationship, when a lot of times it's the man wilding and then jeopardize the relationship, then the woman get blamed for.
All right. So, two more questions for you.
Hmm.
Uh, you say you're thinking like a dad, and I love that. Do you, this is a two-part question, and this is serious for me because, um, I'm a woman and I am a godmom to young girls, and I feel like we raise our daughters and love our sons. And that is why our boys, they grow up, they get the careers and they do all this awesome stuff, but, you know, they turn into narcissists in a sense. That's a whole nother story. But I noticed that within myself as a boy mom, right? I'm telling the young girls to do this, but then I'm hugging my son, right? So I had to change that within myself. Do you think that it's safe right now for women? Do you think men are creating a safe environment for women, and how can they change that?
Um, Man, that's an interesting question. I would say that it depends on the man. I think that there's plenty of men that are creating safe spaces for women. But I think a lot of times women are not necessarily interested in safe, especially early in their lives.
Okay.
Women are interested in excitement. Women are interested in what feels good, despite what logic is saying, or despite how compatible that this person may be to me. He's a project, or he's missing some things, but I feel like I can fix him. Or like, and again, I think that's tied to what you said in terms of the raising. I think that boys get coddled, women get raised,
Right.
and put a lot of unnecessary and unfair responsibility on young girls. You understand, in terms of being super strict, being, super like, uh, and sometimes forcing them to be second mothers in the household, having to raise their siblings, having to, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of unfair responsibility gets placed on the woman. And what that does is that programs her to feel like, okay, I've been raising people since I was a kid. So when I go out there and I date a man, he may not be perfect. He may not have everything that I want, but I could raise him to be the man that I want him to be, or I can turn him into, he just needs to be loved a little more. He just needs, he ain't never had a space like the space I create, or somebody that believe in him, or these things, because you had a lot of experience doing that when you were younger. In comparison, men are much more selfish when we go out there and we grow up because of what you said. We've been coddled.
Right.
Like, it wasn't a lot of rules put on me. I can speak to that. I got two sisters, older one and a younger one. It wasn't a lot of rules put on me. It wasn't a be home before these stoplights come on. It wasn't a nah,
Right.
you can't go spend a night
Right.
over there because I don't. Nah, I got to go bump my head and live. You understand? So,
Right.
and not only that, I had that backing. I always felt like my mama had me or my daddy had me. They gonna back me. In
Right.
comparison to, like, with a lot of girls and their moms, it's a lot of clashing there. It's a lot of subconscious competition there and things of that nature. So
Right.
um, that right there kind of factors into why a lot of women, when they get older, are the way they are, and why men are so, just like you said, narcissistic, in a sense of, like, I'm not taking on no project. I need you to come as finished product, and not only that,
Ooh.
I need to see proof of concept before we
Yeah.
enter into a relationship, right? I need to see
Okay.
you cook for me like my mama did. I need to see you
Okay.
support me through good and bad like my mama did. And then I'll consider us getting into a relationship together. To whereas women don't necessarily have all those stipulations when it comes to, you know, picking the guy that they're gonna be with or whatever. It's because they're used to having to nurture, they're used to having to raise.
Right.
So yeah, and I think all of that contributes to, a lot of spaces not necessarily being safe for women. And what I mean in regards to them not being able to kind of just take their foot off the gas and sit in that passenger seat and just relax and feel like, somebody got me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I can have a bad day and somebody got me. I cannot be, I could not be productive in this time period in my life and somebody got me. A lot of women don't feel like somebody got me. They feel like I gotta, if I don't make it happen, it ain't gonna happen.
It is a lot of women right now that feel exactly what you just said. And a lot of it has to do with, we are a little bit more educated, a more accomplished generation. And you hit that on the head earlier. It's like we're not getting a pat on the back for that. We're still expected to do these womanly duties, but we have all these accolades and all this other stuff going on. And we're still creating a safe space for men. It don't matter what man goes into any of my friends' life. My friends are all a safe space for a man, but they don't have a safe space from a man. So that's what made me think of that question. It's like, you know, um, and we're getting all this dating advice too from social media. So we're getting all this information and we're just like, ah, man, like it's not safe out here. And it's just a feeling, and that's why it's a conversation.
And again, I think, the main reason is that like a lot of women need to sit down and really figure out what is safety for me. Like, what does safety look like for me? And, like, am I good with picking a guy that's in alignment with that? Am I good with sacrificing excitement? Am I good with sacrificing, somebody that's gonna make my blood boil, but at the same time in the bedroom it's incredible. So that balances it out. Like, am I good with sacrificing and living in boring? Because that's what a lot of people, not even women, but just people in general, don't realize. They look at a relationship and social media plays a role in this, and they think, oh, it's gonna be excitement every day, and it's not. The majority of that relationship is going to be boring. You're going to take trips here and there. You're going to have amazing
Yeah.
sex. You're going to roll the dice, take risks, all type of stuff throughout the relationship. But 90% of that relationship is going to be boring
Peace is
because that's what
boring.
stability looks like. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you got to look in that mirror as a woman and ask yourself, am I at the stage in my life to where I'm willing to sacrifice excitement for stability? And I feel like a lot of women don't necessarily, or they may ask themselves that question, but they're not honest. And that kind of causes you to go and continue to pick projects that you have to
I
build.
think we are honest. I do like that. I like how this conversation is challenging me personally. And it's going to challenge a lot of my friends because they submitted these questions. They like, I want you to ask him this. I want you to ask him this. Um, no, we are honest. But somebody comes in and they lie to us, and then We be like, okay, here's your safe space. What do you want for dinner? What do you know? And so I like what you're saying as far as we do need to have a talk with ourselves and we need to enforce that. It ain't just a talk. We have to enforce that. And we're going to get called a bitch. We're going to get called mean. It's going to be a lot of nights lonely, and that's okay. But we have to have that conversation with ourselves, set those boundaries, and actually enforce it.
Yeah, because just like you said, a lot of men come into my friends' lives and we give them a safe space. What did he do to earn the safe space?
Ooh.
Again, like it boils down to
Shots
like
fired.
what did he do it to, like that's not some shit that that you just give away. Like that's not something that you just because I like him or just because I feel like he could be a good man, I'm gonna create a safe space. I'm gonna give him an all access pass to me. I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna be there whatever he needs me to do. I'm gonna do. Like you giving him exclusive benefits while he's still treating you like an option.
Oof.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what I mean when I say like you got to look in that mirror and be honest with yourself. Like, am I really ready to stand on business? Am I really ready to withhold certain aspects just because I
Right.
like them? Again, liking somebody is great,
Yeah.
great, but we gotta be real with ourselves. Is this person compatible to what it is that I'm trying to build? Like what type of father would he be before I
Right.
open my legs to him and like let him hit raw on week 2? Like
Yeah.
these are questions that we're not asking ourselves, right? Because we just going with what feels good. When he
Right.
around, he makes me feel good. He makes me feel. He
In the
says the right
moment.
things. The like sex is good. You know, I love how he smell. He holds me when we again. It feels good, but again, long term relationship is boring and stable. How stable is he? A man
Right.
should have to earn that safe space from you, earn that all access pass for you. And unfortunately, you got men getting that all access pass right through the door.
That was amazing. I really like what you just said. And if I had a daughter, I would replay that. Like, what did he do to earn that? If he don't earn that, he don't need that safe space from you, shawty. Get out of here.
Is it because any grown man is gonna understand like just male psychology in general. Like we only appreciate shit that we had to earn and like really work for. That's like aside from relationships. That's with anything. You know what I mean? We appreciate the journey. We appreciate the chase. We appreciate having to earn this. So when I get it, I feel privileged to be here. But if
Right.
it's just handed to me, I don't feel privileged to be here. I feel like this is gonna always be here, and I can do what I want to do and come back to it on my own time, or come back to it when I feel like it, or come back to it when I done exhausted all these options and they not working. Okay, I got this safety net that I can fall back on, and that's what a lot of women like suscept themselves to when you get that all access pass right out the gate because it feels good. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean, man. We gotta look in that mirror and ask ourselves, am I willing to sacrifice what feels good for what actually is good for me?
I like that. Well, I've taken up enough of your time and I really appreciate this, but I do want you to ask me questions. So if you have a question, icebreaker, whatever you want to talk about,
Okay. What's the like number one thing that you learned um like summarizing all your relationships? What's the most important thing that you've learned thus far?
now I'm 40. I am 40 years old and I actually don't have a lot of experience. I just learned that the hard way. I had um 2 very long relationships, marriage, then it followed by a 12-year relationship. And I learned that my friends that was complaining about dating wasn't lying. Like this, this shit sucks. This shit hurts. And, the biggest thing in all seriousness aligns with what you said. I got a boundary up. And, God already gave me the intuition. He gave me everything that I needed. I just ain't listened to it. And that's the second thing that I would give people advice to. Your intuition as a woman is not lying to you. You are lying to yourself. So Go back to that intuition, have a conversation with that intuition, and then set those boundaries.
And proof of concept, man. That's why I like that. Proof of concept is my favorite phrase. And I feel like not only women, but just anybody, like don't make long term life decisions with somebody you ain't seen proof of concept from first. Especially like older. And again, I'm speaking from like my age group, 35, to 40, 35, 30. We done lived a little bit of life. So it's
Yeah.
like, when you 20, you ain't really built nothing yet. You don't really it ain't no proof of concept in that. Like you
Right.
kind of rolling the dice. But I'm talking to them for that 30 plus. If the proof of concept not there, I can't go. That's just honest. Like I need to see stability in your life. I need to see prosperity in your life. I'm talking about hypothetically speaking, if I was single today, like I would be very hard on women. Like very hard. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Because
have
it's
to.
like, yeah, I don't believe in, paying full price for a car that I got to get to my garage and build from the ground up. Like that's not what it is. You know what I mean? Like come to me healed, come to me with
Yeah,
all of these things worked out, and then let's hit the ground running. But let's start from the ground. Let's not
right.
start from underneath the ground trying to climb out of some trauma and climb out of some shit that I had nothing to do with. That's what I mean by proof of concept. What work are you doing on yourself? Like what warrants what you're asking me to provide in this relationship. And if I don't see nothing that warrants that, there is no relationship.
I will say, you know, I know I can talk about men, but I can equally talk about women. The financial burden that men have to take with women, that scares me as a boy mom. So I understand what you're saying
Man,
because I know it's heavy for me, and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot for a man to just meet a woman and pay for a $200-300 dinner. Like, I don't even know you like that. And y'all have to date multiple women to, it's a lot. So I understand that aspect also.
yeah. And even with that, if I'm giving advice to the guys, like don't go broke on don't go broke doing guesswork. It go back
Oh,
to what I said about proof of concept. Like, and again, me being hard on women if I'm single, like I need to see your lifestyle being comfortable because what I learned is like women who got their own bag and women who got stuff going for themselves, they not really even tripping on the $200-300 dinner date. They ain't tripping on that. Like you could take them somewhere thoughtful and somewhere creative, and they gonna have a blast because money is not necessarily an issue because they're comfortable in their own right. Like they're you walking in the like she trying to make sure that you able to sustain your situation. I'm gonna sustain mine, and we get together and we can blend our stuff. But it ain't
right.
like those type of women ain't looking for a savior. I'm not looking for somebody to where I eat Chili's most of the time, and then you come in now I want to go to steakhouses everywhere. No, that woman eats how she eats before you got
Right.
there. She gonna eat how she eats when you leave.
Yeah, right,
That's the
right,
type. That's the only
right.
type of woman that I would even entertain. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by like proof of concept. I need to see proof of concept. So like any young man listening, same thing, bro. This ain't just a like, woman advice thing. This is a people advice thing. Proof of concept or I can't do it. Simple and plain.
Well, I appreciate you. You
Oh,
dropped
for
a lot
sure.
of gems. A lot of my listeners, they had questions for you. So I hope I
I
did them
like that.
justice. And if I'm ever in Houston, I'm gonna hit you up so we can record an in-person podcast.
For
I
sure.
appreciate this. I appreciate it so much. And I wish you and your family the best.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you having me. I had a blast for sure.
All right. Well, I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Instagram for sure.
For sure. For
All
sure.
right. See you
All
later.
right.